I was so close to not drinking coffee in this video and getting a tea so I could set a good example going into the new year, but that's just truly not gonna happen. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new, then hey, welcome. Thank you for clicking. My name is Jasmine. And if you were thinking about making your New Year's resolution to spend more time with me, I'm not gonna argue with that. Speaking of New Year's though, today's video is going to be kind of a year wrap up kind of thing. And I'm really excited about this because 2021 was really the year that my channel took a very, very specific turn. So I think it's exciting that I can do like a New Year's themed video because I have like something very specific to talk about. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about some music trends that happened this year that we love and some that 2021 can keep. So instead of having an existential crisis about time not being real and the fact that we're already going into 2022, I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the music trends I really loved and some that I really hated. And then I also asked you guys on my Instagram to leave me some that you loved and hated. So not only you can hear my opinion, but we can all kind of talk about the public opinion too. If you don't follow me on Instagram, definitely check it out at Jasmine Zade. I use my story on there a lot to make videos like this one or get a feel for what you guys are thinking when it comes to music. So definitely check that out. So the first thing on my personal list of things that I liked in music this year was I just put Sense of Self. I have talked about this before, how I really love when a music artist designs their public persona in a way that looks still them and like it still belongs to them and not I am a robot created by my management team and I just look like an intern behind a computer screen and this is not my social media platform at all. I like it much better when musicians have personality in their social medias, especially Instagram and Twitter. And I have seen so much of that throughout this year. And I think so much of that also has to do with COVID in a way, because a lot of celebrities are doing these photo dumps of like what they're doing day to day and that kind of thing. But I love the photo dumps. I love the outfit pictures and the behind the scenes things that they post and pictures with their friends and family and, you know, just living life while also posting things that have to do with being a musician too. It's so much easier to connect to these singers too when you really get a feel for who they are, like how they type and what they're talking about and the things they're taking pictures of, rather than only showing their face when they're doing something promotional. And I get it, musicians are busy sometimes and it may seem like they don't really have time to be authentic, but I don't think that is true. And I'm not asking for like a 5-page essay on your life story. Like you can be a private person, but I just want to see personality. Where's the spark? Where's the flavor? The next thing I've seen a lot of last year and this year both is live stream shows and access to concerts live streamed. I think that's one of the best things for the music industry that kind of came out of COVID, not to keep bringing it up because I know we're all tired. Just if you're looking on the bright side, especially in music, if you're trying to find something like, oh, at least COVID gave me this, I like the live stream shows. I think it's such a really cool and innovative way to connect with your fans and give them entertainment when you can't physically be with them or they can't physically be at your show. And I'm really surprised that this kind of thing didn't take off much earlier because it might have existed, just not in this way. So many people have been doing live stream shows where you can pay for access and go and watch this like set of your fave musician performing their songs, and sometimes they even do like Q&As and special guests. Like there's all kinds of things that you can do with that, and I think it's a good idea. Everyone gets to be in one place, you know, have a chat about it, live tweet about it, whatever. I love it. Don't you? Not only that though, but we've also seen this trend where it's like the person, like the musician is performing an actual concert, but there's like an option to tune into a live stream version of it. And I've seen like music festivals and like multiple performer events doing this too, where it's like, oh, if you can't come to this state or you know, you want to quarantine for your safety, then you can still enjoy this. And also being someone who's in the music business, I understand the importance of kind of like a win-win situation. Like the artist and their team are benefiting from this, but the public and their fans are also benefiting from this. And like the live stream concert thing is just definitely like a win-win for everyone involved. Like we are making our money, the live streaming platform is making their money, and then like the fans are being rewarded with that entertainment. So it's like, we're all happy here. Plus it's great for people who are international and feel like they never get to watch anything or be a part of anything because people want to stick to the same places when they tour, and there's international fans like who don't get to see things like that. I think it's a good opportunity for them to feel a part and connected in that way. The next bullet point I put is more unique album promo and more unique promo packages. This is another thing that was kind of slowly beginning to trickle in like 2019 to 2020, but really started to take hold with the public in 2021 this year. Like a lot of people are paying really, really strict attention to these like promo tactics. And I just think it's such a good idea. Like, yeah, get creative, do your promo in a fun way. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Olivia Rodrigo's sour car wash and sending out these like candy packages to people to promote her album. And Taylor Swift, we know, like the all-knowing goddess of promo projects and being cryptic and like leaving all these things for fans to make it more fun. You're doing this cool thing that's just like fun, but you're also getting the word out about the project you're working on. So once again, it's a win-win for everybody involved. The fan is getting something fun and community-like, and then the artist is getting promo for their work. I think that's really fun and cool, rather than just being like, hey, my album comes out on this day, catch me on SNL, and that's it. Because it makes it seem like you care. Even if you don't care, at least it seems like you care. The next one is transparency regarding the behind the scenes. This is something that has taken off like no other in 2021. Like management teams and record labels are getting called out like nobody's fucking business this year. I love the transparency about what's actually going on behind the scenes. So many artists are like, okay, enough is enough. Like we shouldn't be owned. We're gonna talk about the reality of what we do. And there's people even in the industry who are doing the same thing. Like, okay, enough is enough. We're tired. We're going to tell you the truth about what goes on here. And I fuck with that. Why did I say that? I fuck with that. Okay. It's genuinely just nice to see, to kind of highlight what really goes on. Like, enough of this over glamorized image. Like, if something is going on, let's hear about it. And the perfect example of that from this year is the whole why don't we dispute. I made a whole video about what was going on, but what they did was incredibly brave and like so insane for the music industry, for them to like really take a stand and call out these people on their team who are mistreating them. Not only that, but like going on strike. Like they refused to record music until they got this stuff out, and like actually made a change and like fixed the things that were wrong, and they ended up coming out on top. They did fix the things that were wrong. They got their way. And I think, you know, that kind of taking a stand and transparency. Rebecca Ferguson too, from who's on the X Factor UK, she's been doing a lot of that too. Like, this is what really goes on. This is the reality of the industry. And I think that like transparency is amazing. Although I do understand that sometimes that transparency is a little hard contractually, like if you can't really speak about things and it's a little bit harder. But there's definitely ways here and there. It doesn't have to be a full expose. I just mean, you know, oh, like I did this because my manager said this. Like even just small comments like that in an interview. Ariana Grande does that a lot. I don't know. I just love the normalization lately of the reality of what people are going through in so many different sectors. That's why I do what I do. Let's keep it going. I feel like this whole video is just me rambling endlessly. I hope you're having a good time. The next point is wearable merch with effort involved. Oh my goodness. Me saying that as I wear this Lorde shirt that's literally just the Solar Power album cover. I was also wearing it backwards because the front is ugly. So anyway, I love this new trend of making merch that's wearable instead of just Justin Bieber. You know what I mean? Not that Justin did that. It's just the first name I could think of. Instead of just slapping the artist's name on the front of the shirt in an ugly font and calling it a day, I really like this new trend of making it wearable. Like you can make an outfit with this because it is cute. But it's also like if I saw someone wearing that in the street, I would know that they're a blank stan, and that's cool to like seek each other out. But to everyone else, it just looks like this cute piece. Oh my God, where did you get that? And it doesn't have to be like Olivia's merch where it's like super Gen Z, like targeted at teenagers. It's like whatever your demographic is, whoever the people who are listening to your music are. Like do some research and figure out what would be super wearable for that demographic and how you can make it like cool and wearable and or cute so that people can have fun with their merch. Because merch is fucking expensive. So you might as well make it wearable and cute and like get use out of it. I just will never understand making your merch very, very expensive and then it's like hideous or so simple that it's like I'd rather go on Etsy and buy fan-made merch. Which also makes me think that something that doesn't really exist right now, but we should start in 2022 is like hiring people who know what the fuck they're doing or people who are more dedicated to their craft. I feel like people have like this fear of hiring someone who's like a fan. But fans are people in music who know what they're talking about because they're fans, especially people in fandoms and who are really associated with that culture. Like they know what kind of merch people like, and if they're talented and can design it, then hire them. And photographers, like tour photographers, photographers. Like, they know what the fans like to see, and if they're good at it, hire them. People like that. I think that would be amazing to see in the industry a lot more, is giving opportunities to people who genuinely need it and who are so deserving. Okay. The next one I put is creating a space for small / upcoming / independent artists to grow. That has been such a huge thing this year. Oh my God, so many people who are small, like independent, homegrown little artists who don't really have a career have blown up and become insanely viral. Music playing on the radio, playing little shows now because we gave them the space, especially on TikTok, to share their talent, share their music, and now they can do what they want because it got out there so quickly. They're very talented. And a lot of times the people that you come across on TikTok like that are like literally some of the world's most talented songwriters ever. Like Leith Ross, are you kidding? Like some of the TikTok songs I've seen by people who are just like in their bedrooms alone have been the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. So I think giving that space to people to, you know, get the word out there about their music is amazing, especially for people who don't really have the desire to be these huge, like big time mainstream, filthy rich like musicians. Like there's some people out there who are just so good with playing intimate small venues and like going here and there, and maybe not a world tour, but just like traveling a little bit and making a living off of their music. Some people are so good with that. So like giving them the space to be able to explore that and support them is... The next thing that I put here for things in music that we should carry into 2022 is this wide acceptance of Spotify Wrapped. If you have Apple Music, nobody's talking to you right now, okay? You can just sit this one out real quick. But my Spotify users, this year, Spotify Wrapped was like a fucking holiday. And it kind of was last year too, but this year it really took off. Everybody was tweeting about it. They were tweeting things like, oh my God, Spotify Wrapped is literally more important than the Grammys. It's more important than Christmas. And everyone was just like shamelessly sharing their stuff. No embarrassment, just sharing them. And there was no, nobody cares about your Spotify Wrapped. It was like, yeah, everyone cares about your Spotify Wrapped. Let's all post them. And I really appreciated that because we do care about each other's Spotify Wraps. We want to see that shit. So I think we should continue to just openly accept the Spotify Wrapped season and take her in as a holiday in our beloved arms. You know what I mean? And also something I wanted to mention that's not necessarily something we've seen a ton of in 2021, but that I want to see in 2022 is more like documentaries and like visual albums and like projects surrounding music. There's a very traditional like, oh, I put out a single, an album and go on tour. But sometimes throughout the years, obviously, we've seen like visual albums and like bigger projects. I think so much of being a musician is about your creativity and also like the stories that you want to tell with your music. So music videos are great, but I want to see more entire projects that span way above that and like kind of connecting these things and making like visual albums or even like little documentaries, even if they aren't like Netflix documentaries or in movie theaters, just like a little video diary journey of the process of like making these albums and, you know, the behind the scenes. I think it's so cool to get to see that. But next we're going to talk about some things that I want to ditch in 2022. I think I keep saying 2021, I'm sorry. This one is significantly shorter than the things that we should keep because so many of the things that I want to talk about ditching are things that I know a lot of people were saying in my Instagram responses where I asked you guys' opinions, and a lot of them are repeated and we all have like this kind of collective consensus. So I'm just gonna throw some things in here that I was thinking of and then we can go over some stuff that you guys said. So the first one that I put is when songwriting shoving the randomest lyrics into a song just because they will be seen as relatable. I talked about this when I made a video about influencers in music and like TikTok becoming the new thing. I touched a little bit on it in that video, but it still just irks me so badly when people are writing a song and then they randomly are like, she's mentally ill with brown. That one song that I'm singing right now. She's mentally ill with brown hair, messy room clothes everywhere. Daddy was never really there. Why are you singing about broken women? But it's like not even authentic in that case. You're literally just shoving things into a song for dear life in hopes that someone's gonna relate to it and it'll blow up because of that. It's a little bit different if you are writing something that you genuinely relate to and are going through, or like forming it into a story and you can be super poetic and cool about it. But when you literally just say something random and it has no like lyrical value and it's kind of just sitting there, it drives me so crazy. And I've seen a million songs like that this this year. I'm sick. And there's some people out there who eat that up. I'm like, all right, good for you. But me, I don't think I can stand another second of it. The next one I put, I think we all saw coming. I think we all saw this coming. If you know me, if you watched me for long enough, you knew I was going to say this. And that is the criticism of pop music slash mainstream music. Well, not the criticism of pop music. I want people to criticize pop music. That's my whole thing. I just mean shaming people for enjoying pop music or defining pop music the wrong way or shaming people for liking radio stuff or stuff that's really big. Especially this year, like I said, there was a lot of women really dominating the industry, including women in pop. So much of the hate that people like that get is just surrounded by people absolutely obliterating the style of music that they make, as if pop music isn't a real genre and can't be taken seriously. And it's just so confusing because to me in my brain, pop music is so flexible and versatile. There's so many, especially these days, people are really redefining different types of pop. So it is something that's so versatile. There's so much room for like songwriting and different songwriting styles, and there's so much room to criticize pop music and view it through a critical lens, just like any other type of music. So it truly hurts my heart and soul when people are like, you listen to pop music, you are basic and disgusting. They don't say it like that, but you know what I mean. Like, leave people alone. I love pop music. I will die on that hill. I am a pop girl for life. I love the pop girlies. They're all killing it. I love the introduction of like rock inspired stuff into the pop space. I eat it up. The next one that I have that we should ditch in 2022 is like the intense accusations of inauthenticity or copying. I have had enough of people being like, get your own style. This is the exact same thing that so-and-so did. Do you realize how long music has been around? Truly, music has been around for ever and ever and ever. And at some point, people are going to start drawing inspiration from other sounds that already exist because we have to. Especially because people in the public demand women to reinvent themselves 20 million times if they're an artist, which is another thing I'll touch on when I do a video about music industry sexism. People are bound to draw so much inspiration from other people. That's in part how art works in any form. As long as they're not genuinely copying someone else to the T, then I don't see a problem with drawing inspiration from other people, especially artists that you admire. I think it was cool what Olivia Rodrigo did with Sour, because the songs that she was, drawing inspiration from were not the exact same as the art that she was creating, but she still did it in a way that you could tell that she drew inspiration from them, which is better than her straight up just taking it and not saying anything. She credited these people that she was inspired by and made it her own, and I think that's really cool. Two things really quickly. One, this is not just an Olivia thing. Two, it's also not just a music thing. People accuse people of stealing like style and clothes and comparing them to each other. Everything of that realm is what I'm talking about here. Now I'm going to read some of the things that you guys told me that you want to keep and ditch in 2022, and I'm so excited for this. I've only like barely skimmed through these when I first posted it on the day I posted it, which was a long time ago, so I'm excited to actually dig in and kind of see what you guys are thinking for keep and ditch. We're gonna start with things that you guys think that we should keep in 2022, just like I did. Someone said Euphoria soundtrack style music, like very dreamy and hypnotic. I love. That's a really good one. I agree. I love All For Us, that kind of thing. It's on my like general music likes playlist because I like the sound of it. I agree with that. I think that style of music is really cool. Pussy Pop Explosion. I've never agreed more. Genre crossing. That's a really good one too. I'm surprised I didn't think to put that on my list. I'm obsessed with the new genre crossing trend. Not new, obviously. Oh, people would drag me in my comments for saying that. Not that genre crossing is new. It's just been very prevalent this year and very like, this is how it's going to be, and I really like that, and I think it's cool that more people are willing to do that and try that, because it showcases a lot more from people that maybe you didn't know they had in them. Whatever Taylor Swift does, you're so right. The radio uprise of the teen punk angst shit. The way I know exactly what you're going for here, and I wholeheartedly agree. Teen punk angst shit. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there who are really just letting it go and being angsty and teenage and punky, and I really, really, really agree with that. Like, there's so much to be angsty about and upset about when you're a teenager, especially a teenage girl. I think we should let them get in the studio and scream and cry. Like, that's what you deserve. Bringing back music from the late 90s and early 2000s. I like this one. I love artists who have a very like bubblegummy, dreamy pop sound. Like Rina Sawayama, Ordinary Superstar has been on repeat. It's been on repeat. I love that sound, that very like, I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know, that very like poppy, disco-y, like fun sounding stuff I've been really eating up lately. I really agree. But not just pop music. I also really like this comeback. Not really a full comeback yet, but this little sprinkle of like 80s and 90s rap, like old school rap. I've seen coming back. Like there's these two TikTokers my brother sent me who did this crazy rap that was like so old school rap style. Obsessed.
Hop out the whip, do a flip, keep it sick. I got the mic on my mouth, get a whip. Think of other ways that I'm much better. I keep it hot like a turtleneck sweater. Double jump, Nike ears with a pump. I don't wear K-Swiss, I ain't a chump. Follow my rhythm, follow my flow. Dance to this, drop your hips, get low.
That's the kind of rap music I need back in my life, even though it hasn't been that long since that was popular. Releasing 10-minute versions of their old songs. Bestie, I think that was just Taylor. Way more major celebrities joining TikTok. That's a good point. Kind of piggybacking, I hate that, off of my first point about, you know, artists being a little bit more of themselves and showing a little bit more personality and not being robotic. I think it's both really embarrassing and head shake worthy when really big celebrities join TikTok and do all these weird things, but it's also equally as just like endearing and it's fun. I love Joe Jonas's TikToks, specifically like just thinking of one that I always see. Lizzo has a really strong TikTok game, like the people like that who are just like killing it over there. Now for truly the most fun part about this whole thing, music trends that you guys hated in 2021 and don't want to see again. I personally love it when people are haters. I think if you hate something, you should just go off, you know what I mean? And this is essentially just a big collection of people being haters. I couldn't love it more if I tried. Let's see what you guys hated in 2021. Before I start reading this, I just want to say, just skimming through this, almost every single response, or like every other response, is someone saying people making music specifically for TikTok trends. Like literally, I'd say almost more than half of these responses say the same thing, and that's TikTok trend music. I guess you guys really hated that because I don't remember seeing anyone say in the music trends to keep, like, hey, let's keep the TikTok songs. Nobody said that. They're all in the ditch section. So I guess we all just collectively hate that artists make songs specifically for TikTok, which is kind of why I didn't put that on my list because I knew it was going to be like this. But yes, before anything else, we can acknowledge that it's been absolutely miserable watching more and more and more people create songs in some kind of way crafted so they will go viral on TikTok. And for that reason only, and very clearly for that reason only, I agree. Let's move away from it. Somebody said the trap instrumentals need to go. I mean, yeah, some of them really do go off, especially in certain settings. We kind of need them sometimes, but the very like repetitiveness of that, I don't know. I kind of agree with that. Justin Bieber. Imagine we just ditch him. Prom/prom queen core. I didn't even realize that that was a trend this year until I just read this. That's so true. Everyone is making songs about I'll never be prom queen, or I was the prom queen but I'm still miserable kind of thing, or like I'm sitting here in my prom dress, or just ran away from the prom. There's so many songs. That really is a thing. Like prom core. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's very thought-provoking. The all caps song titles, that looks so ugly. I think all caps song titles do look ugly. I like it when they're all lowercase letters though. Maybe because I'm gay. Somebody said NFTs. That has definitely been a huge thing this year. Nobody will ever stop talking about them ever. Oh, someone said songs barely hitting the 2-minute mark. Another thing that I didn't even think about, but now that I am thinking about it, you're absolutely correct. Really, really short songs has been a thing that is becoming more and more popular, which is funny because we just talked about Taylor doing the 10-minute version of All Too Well. But yeah, there are some artists who are releasing these like really short songs, and sometimes I get it, like as more as a cohesive body of work, like for your album, putting like a really short song somewhere specifically to flow or like whatever. But there has been this trend lately of people writing songs that are really short, not even for the artistic part. It's just like you listen to them and it feels like they just didn't have anything to say. The rent was due and I had to finish this song. What more do you want from me? It feels like that. Someone said, I feel like there was a lot of collabs this year, almost too many. That's true. There was a lot of collabs in 2021. Like there's this like very, very noticeable culture of people being like, oh, so and so and so and so together. And so there's just like so many collabs. But I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I can say that I think that's a good thing or bad thing. I think if you're referencing one artist and like their album, if like half their album is like featuring, I think that says a lot about them. So I think as a body of work, it's better to kind of have a few features and like, okay. But if you're just like releasing singles or like remixes, like a popular song and then someone adds a rap verse or something, I kind of get it a little bit more. But half of the time that's like a team thing. Like the people behind the scenes, like their management team and their record label are the ones who are like, hey, we want you to do this collab with so and so, because they want the hype from it, not because these people are friends with each other and they're like, hey, let's do a song together. Half the time that's not the case. Okay, that's enough hating for today. Those are some of the things that I would like to see stay and go into the new year, and some of the things you guys would like to see stay and go into the new year. Feel free to use the comment section to let me know how you feel about 2021 trends. If there's anything you think of that I didn't mention, I would love to hear your thoughts. Go off, be a hater, be a lover, whatever you choose. Honestly, this is a free space to be who you want to be. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you all had an amazing Christmas and holiday if you celebrate, and that you all have a happy new year. I think this is my last video of 2021. That's crazy. And we're almost to 50K. Like, it's been absolutely insane. So thank you for being here and supporting me. I love making videos for you, and I plan to go even harder in 2022. So I'll see you there.